3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Good afternoon, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Training Camp Central Live, Day 10. We are streaming live on YouTube. And of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker. Still, boom! Man, we're a few days away from the Cowboys taking the field up there in Seattle for the first preseason game. But we got one more practice before then. So we're going to cover all of that today on Training Camp Central Live. Our, 8th or 9th edition. It says Day 10 practice updates, so probably 10 at this daggone point. But we'll head on over to the command center, keep y'all updated. Prior to all of that, we got some house cleaning, man. We got some notes coming out about contracts. We got a depth chart we want to take a look at. Maybe at some point I'll get to a play today too, because there is one from the scrimmage the other day where the Cowboys, I thought, showed up very, very well. So we got a whole lot to get into as the Cowboys start to roll out. And like I said, over on the command center, this is where we do all of the updates, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to be following all of our Oxnard beat guys and gals down there. Hey, maybe we might get Vosh to call back into the show to kind of give us, what he's seeing while he's out there. But either way, we're going to rock. And if you want to call into the show, we'll open up those phone lines as well. All right. But where are my manners, man? What's good with you, Bomb Squad?
Bomb Squad!
Everybody feeling good? Everybody feeling straight? Audio okay? Too loud, too low, good to go? I know sometimes, sometimes audio can be funny. T-Jack said, let the Kool-Aid flow. T-Jack, I said this to my guy, who was it, Mel? I said, hey, man, I got to get some True Lemon packs, bro. I got to keep the blood sugar right. So I got the True Lemon no sugar packs. But that's my substitution for Kool-Aid. Because it's feeling really Kool-Aid-y around here lately, ladies and gentlemen, for good reason. Because the Cowboys defense, they're looking so much better, which we expect. Well, I can't speak for everyone. But I'm pretty 10 toes down here on the Cowboys defense, improving from 39th ranked defense to at the very least around league average. And if they can even be more than that, I mean, that's a hell of a jump. And now we're talking about a deep potential run here, right? But it's awesome to see some of the things come into fruition, right, at training camp, against the Rams in the scrimmage. But it was a really good day yesterday. It was a really good day yesterday. I'll just say that. Real quick, though. Let's get to the podium report before we head back into, because they're warming up right now. They're stretching, they're doing all the dancing and whatnot. They're warming up. So let's get into the podium report. Coach Shotty did talk, and his podium pressers are getting shorter and shorter, which is fine with me. I'm not here for 40-minute pre-practice presser. It's not needed. Okay, save that for the games. So this is kind of what he had to say today, or some of the notes I took away. Let me just say that. He said, expect to see both Caleb Downs and Malachi Lawrence out there on the field on Saturday. They're still working through it, but he said, expect to see them a little bit. I like that. A couple weeks ago, last week, they asked Coach Shotty about it, and he said, we don't know. We'll see. I am big on let these young bucks play, man. Veterans, that's a different story, but these young bulls got to play. And somebody asked a question about seeing both first-round picks instead of just naming Caleb Downs. I expected to see Malachi for sure. Caleb sounded a little tricky because he's already a starter. Whether you want to call it the slot, safety, whatever it is, he's a starting DB, and we'll get to that depth chart here later. And not just a starter, but a super important part of this defense. So I can understand on one hand why he might have been hesitant, but at the end of the day, man, he's a rookie. He needs to get out there and feel this NFL speed, if you will. Granted, it's not against other starters likely, but it doesn't matter. This is what preseason's for, young bucks. Here's what I loved about what he said, though, at the podium. They asked him, hey, man, what was your takeaways after you went back and watched the film against the Rams. And he talked about some of the things that he had to improve, right? He felt defensively it was a little bit more space than he liked in coverage, some airiness as he called it. Offensively, he talked about getting off to better starts. But this is the part I loved. He said, I feel like on the defensive side of the ball, our play style was felt. Our play style was felt. It's so crazy to hear him say that, because earlier in the day, I tweeted something out about Rashawn Gary, who sat down with Rich Eisen. Cool little interview. He's not going to give you too much. He was on the verge of giving us a whole lot, but he had to chill. He had to calm himself back down. He started talking about, he believes Christian Parker is a magician. The things he understands the front end and the back end. He's going to make quarterbacks kind of, hesitate and think. He's, I don't want to say too much. He's just a magician. But the thing I took away, he was like, I can't wait for week 1 in MetLife because you're going to see the physicality of the defense and how we play. This guy, it's just words. I hear you. But there was a different tone in it. This didn't feel like we're just talking. And this is why I say that. Because when we brought on Brian McFadden a few months ago, we talked about defenses truly being physical. And y'all know how I feel. This needs to be embedded in your DNA. This can't just be words that you say. It has to start at the top and manifest its way all the way through the roster. And that means with the people you bring in, how you draft, the free agents, trades, coachings, philosophy, all of that, it needs to be a part of the DNA of the organization. I never thought that was the case in years past. I truly believe that is the case now. And to hear Coach Shoddy at the podium say, after watching the film, I feel like our play style was felt. Basically saying, those mother felt us. It's good, Jay. They felt us. And I don't know how many times I can say that from a physical standpoint for the Cowboys defense over the last number of years. Hell, you can go decades if you want. I'm not going to fight you on it. So that was awesome to hear. He also talked about, somebody asked him about the running backs. They said, hey, how you feel about the fumble from Blue and Maffa? And he said, despite the fumble from Blue, and then he brought up Maffa as well, they've had really good camps. He said one fumble does not take away the camp that he had. And that's kind of my takeaway too, because listen, we tend to do this, right? Hey, look, it's camp. I'll allow it. But I did think the whole reaction to the fumble from Blue was a bit interesting. I'll just say that. Not good. Definitely don't want to be fumbling out there, Blue. But that was his first fumble of camp. You would have thought he fumbled 3 times, and you'd forget that Maffa also fumbled as well. And so did Israel Abaconda. I'm with Coach here. I'm not going to let a really good camp. I'm not going to let, one fumble overtake a really good camp. Now, let's not make it a habit for any of these guys. Let's not make it a habit, because then it becomes worrisome. Because these guys are going to be a part, I think, of the plan here, unless something changes, unless a trade or somebody unexpected just goes crazy in preseason and knocks one of these guys off. But I don't see that happening, at least for Blue, that is. But I think the way it came off from the fans, he fumbled, man. He sucks. He's done. I'm like, whoa. He probably felt he sucked and he was done beforehand. But the fumble shouldn't really change your mind off of the camp that he's had. He's had a fantastic camp, and so has Maffa. And I'm not going to let either of those fumbles really take away from them having those good camps. That's kind of an overreaction, if you will. Then he said Barham is close. They're going to see if he can get going for the preseason. So when you look at some of the guys that are out, Zion Childress as well, he's out. It's going to be tough for him, man. It's going to be tough for him. Probably won't get him on the practice squad. But the big one is the reason why I have Barham up here is we want to see Jayshawn Barham out there. However, not at the risk of re-injuring his groin. So if he's not all the way back, 100% back, I wouldn't I wouldn't rush him out there. As expected, the Cowboys are in shells for practice today. So if you guys are looking for the practice update schedule-wise, shells today. Tomorrow's a closed practice, which is most likely going to be just a walk. When I say walkthrough, I mean literal walkthrough, because they have a game on Saturday. They're going to be traveling to Seattle on Saturday. So I won't be doing anything tomorrow because they don't have practice tomorrow. I just looked over. I never want to see blue ever again. So that's what I'm saying. Our fans are funny, man. But I am. And look, let me see. Don't want to talk about that now or later, because I got some things to watch for. Let me mute this real quick. I'm working. Here we go. I do have some things to watch for. Running back is definitely one of them in the preseason. And I'll get to that. But I want to get to today's headline, if you will. And that's Quentin Williams' contract details. They came out today and just beautiful, bro. Where's that button at? It's a beautiful contract. We know the overall numbers. 3 years, 105, 63 million guaranteed. But here are the details that came out of that contract. There are 4 option bonuses and 4 void years. Void years go from 31 to 34. Cowboys put in that type of void option in both CeeDee Lamb and Dak's contracts. So they've done that part before. But the 4 option bonuses is fairly new. And I'm not going to bore you with a bunch of numbers. Toxic. This is what you love here. And Martise, if you're in the building. But this is pretty significant because the Cowboys have not done this aspect of it. And to kind of put it in more layman's terms here, those 4 option bonuses are essentially built-in restructures, not press button restructures. We've done that plenty for like a decade. That's not new for the Cowboys. These are literally built in. They don't have to do anything to this contract for the next really 4 years in regards to pressing buttons to create more space. Okay. So then you go look at the cap hits between now and 2029, next 4 years. $8.5 million this year, 14.4 next year, basically 20 million in 28 and 25 million in 29. All extremely manageable cap hits. The option aspect of this contract kind of follows the same moniker, and I hate to say it, I truly do, of Howie Roseman and the Philadelphia Eagles. This is kind of how they were able to load up with these huge contracts and say, well, we'll just wait till 2029, I think it was the year, to where we get dumped on with void years and big money. And by that time, they figured our Super Bowl window closed, so let's start on over. And that's how I would love to operate. Which leads me to this. The Cowboys freed up $13 million this year and $11 million next year. Puts them around roughly $20 million to take on more additions. We all know the big one. But it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be max. Would love for it to be max. But this gives them room this year to add other guys. They didn't have much cap room to begin with, about 5 roughly. They're around 20 roughly, $18-20 million. That's plenty enough to bring in depth guys. It's plenty enough to bring in low-level starters. But it's also plenty enough to bring in a high-end guy. Doesn't have to be max. I'm just trying to put that out there. However, next year, even though there's only 11 million freed up, or I should say only, even though there has been 11 million freed up, the Cowboys are still well under or over, I should say, the cap. So what they'll need to do is press a couple buttons, and there is options to do that. But before we talk about that, the way this contract is structured and just how little major decisions the Cowboys have over the next few years in regards to, unrestricted free agent contracts coming out of this team, I think it puts them in position to really go for it with a couple moves. I'm talking the next 24 months. If they hit a couple, now this part they have to hit a couple buttons. They can put themselves in position if the opportunity presents itself. I'm not just saying do it for the sake of doing it. If the opportunity presents itself to make a hump move or two over the next 24 months, or a collective of moves that aren't necessarily, hey man, one hitter quitters, but 2 to 3 really damn good additions, not just low level bargain bin type of additions via trade or free agency. What they got to do though is go look at Dak and CD. This sets up to do exactly what I would love for them to do. Right down the window. All right, look, we got 4 years, whatever you want to be, 3 years, whatever. These next 3 to 4 years, this is our all-in opportunity. We're going to go for the gusto. Whatever happens after that, if it tanks, it is what it is. You are setting yourself up to potentially do that. But you got to extend CD, and you likely got to extend Dak as well to free up that space. I think they're in a perfect position to do that. If you want to go for this thing for the next 3 years, including this year, extend those 2 guys at the end of the season, next offseason, whatever, open up more room, and continue to add to this roster. There's a lot of new people here. They've never heard me say this before. The Cowboys never really did that in a competitive window. I hate to say championship window. You got to really go deep in the playoffs. But a competitive window, they've 9 times out of 10 either A, tried to catch up to what they should have done the previous year, or they just flat out made their roster worse, or they just maintained it. And I'm specifically talking about those 3, 12, and 5 years. They never really went for it, and they were in perfect position to do so. I think they are setting themselves up to be in perfect position to do so again. Now, a lot rides on what happens this year, right? Cowboys have to be competitive. They have to show. I think they're going to have to show Jerry and Steven, mostly Steven, that, okay, yeah, this thing does look like it's heading on the right direction. Like, it looks like it to me, but it has to show on the field. And if so, between the Quinton contract, pressing those extension buttons on Dak and CD, opening up more room, you don't have a lot of contracts to deal with. You got one really major contract to deal with, George Pickens. That's it. You do well enough, keep his ass. But that's something to discuss after the season. But you don't have the CD, the Dak, the Micah, the Amari. There was times where you had all of that in one that you were thinking about. You don't got to worry about that anymore. The next 2 seasons, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens is the biggest deal. TJ Bass, Malik Hooker, nah, man, there's nobody else. You got to worry about big money. So I say, when you look at this contract, use it as fuel to add to this team and go for this thing. Go for it, man. All right, let's get in the chat. See what y'all talking about as they are still warming up here. Caleb Downs with the secondary coach Ryan Smith, a.k.a. Smitty. The rookie first rounder expected to play in a limited capacity. How are we feeling about the way this thing is set up? Do you agree or disagree that they're putting themselves in position to truly go for it? And when you add it all up, meaning how Steven's talking, that's the main one, how Jerry's talking, I will be 10 toes on this. Truly believe that Stephen Jones is the one that's showing more of a differential in the approach than anyone. I have never heard Stephen talk like this. Could mean absolutely nothing, but I've never heard it. See, Burleson said, damn well they want to pay Overshawn. Will Cook dropped 10. Super chat. He said, I think Shotty's influence has them moving in a different direction along with an embarrassing defense. I definitely think Shotty's influence is legit. And it was funny when he got hired. Y'all were here. Y'all know the show we did. I was sitting there like, look, we get Kiki and he at the addition. I like Shoddy. I didn't know he was going to be the head coach. I didn't tab him to be the head coach, but I like who he is from a coaching standpoint, his energy, his experience. So when he got hired, it was like, I'm not mad because I like him, but that's not who I wanted. However, I do think his influence in the building is showing for sure. I can't go as far yet to say he's Teflon because we have to see the results have to be real. We can't just, everything cool, culture, all awesome, and then you lose. That don't matter. But I do think Shoddy has this team heading in the right direction. And then Lincoln, shout out to Lincoln Blake, man. Been here for a while.
Super chat.
Dropped 10 and said, this Quentin Williams extension is bigger than we realize. That's what we talking about. This is most definitely a setup for something big. That's kind of how I'm interpreting because they had the option bonuses they just haven't done a whole lot of. Rookie Devin Moore is working back into practice today. Quiet as it's kept. That is a tad bit concerning with Devin Moore missing a lot of time. I got a feeling, y'all know how I feel. Devin, that growing cool? Yeah, coach, I done played all 3 games. Ask you one more time. That growing cool? Yeah, coach. IR. I got a feeling that's coming. Don't think, a lot of people thought the Rook might rotate into this thing. I don't see it. So the next thing I think about is in a season that they feel close. I shouldn't say close. They feel better about. They feel like they don't want to waste a spot, that everybody needs to contribute in some way, shape, or form. There are going to be DNPs, okay? There are going to be those. But in a room with a lot of question marks of health and things like that, I don't know if you want a bunch of cornerbacks being DNPs. So he's an injury guy. Injury guy his whole career in Florida. Came now, he's an injury guy so far. It's an injury. It happens. I'd imagine they want to put on some pounds, get a little stronger, and we'll get you back next year. I could see that happening with Devin Moore. And they say we want to keep a veteran, be it, I don't care if it's a veteran that's been super productive in this league or a guy who's just been around as a depth guy. I think they'd probably want to lean towards that unless Devin Moore go crazy. Toxic. Clean my glasses. Oh, I thought you said something. Sky, I said toxic. Sky, I agree. But once you want to be aggressive, stay the course. Can't stop at the first sign of adversity. Absolutely. Absolutely. You gotta want to go for this thing, man. You can't play around. If y'all didn't go check out that Rashawn Gary interview, please go do so. At the very least, in that part, that part of the interview was cool. The rest, Rashawn Gary, chill, dude. He ain't gonna say too much. But he talks about why he got, not why, but his first thoughts when he got traded, who he reached out to, and things like that. Really good stuff. All right, as they're continuing to warm up here, I do have a list of things I'm watching for. Not today's practice, and I'm gonna get into the chat and see what you guys are saying. Not today's practice. No. This is kind of what I'm watching for in the first preseason game against Seattle on Saturday. And as we kind of talked about earlier, the running backs. I'm looking for flat out. I want to see some production from the running backs. Everybody except Javonte Williams should be playing. Everybody. Now, they are subjective to how the offensive line plays, the play calling and things like that. I totally get it. But guess what? That's just the way the cookie crumbles. So when you get in there, you have to make the most of your opportunities. Funny thing, he's not on the team anymore. But a guy that comes to mind that did that, even though he didn't do anything for you during his tenure here, was Deuce Vaughn. Deuce Vaughn, whether it was with the first unit, the first team that was out there for preseason, second team, third, it didn't matter. Deuce Vaughn was the preseason champ. Every year, Deuce Vaughn do something like, hey, we got a Deuce Vaughn. But it is what it is. That's what you have to do to fight to get on this roster. And in this case, because there isn't a slam dunk, hey, I've been around here, I'm here to be that type of guy behind Javonte Williams. All these guys are young and trying to prove themselves for the most part. The Jaden Blue, the Phil Maffas, Israel Abacondas, they have to show something. They got to get their Deuce Vaughn on. You know what I mean? Toxic got jokes. Y'all crazy. Toxic got jokes. They do me a favor, man. Appreciate y'all coming through as we get ready to get some of these practice updates. Hit that like button if you're enjoying this thing already. Also, I'm looking for rookie impact. So we know that Caleb Downs is going to play a little bit. Malachi Lawrence is going to play a little bit, but we also have other guys. It's Devin Moore going to get back out there. We'll see about Jayshawn Barham. LT Overton. He's a guy that we want to see get going. I want to see Drew Shelton. This whole entire rookie class, you want to see a positive step for them, right? It's not going to happen. You're not going to go, 7 for 7, whatever Cowboys did. Anthony Smith, another one. Who was it a couple years? Well, we know the Micah game against the Steelers, but it was somebody else I thought had a good rookie debut. I cannot remember, but I remember the Steelers game. I want to say like a fumble recovery or something, a couple good pressures, but you want to walk away from this thing feeling good against live bullets. One preseason game does not make a season, but you don't want to walk away like, God, man, he got whooped. So I want to see the impact these rookies have. The depth battles are huge to me. I'm talking outside linebacker 5 and 6 if they keep one. Linebacker 4, 5, 6 if they keep one. Wide receiver 5, 6, right? Safety, Malik Hooker. I'm sorry, not Malik Hooker. My man from the HBCU. Bell. Look, he's not doing anything, so much so that I forgot his goddamn name. Marquise Bell, please make me remember your name again. Because I remember Julius Woods' name. I remember his name. He looking to make this team, Playboy. That's going to be a good battle. Quiet as it's kept. Cornerback 4, 5. Good battle. So those depth battles I'm watching. And the defensive physicality. We just got done talking about this team being more physical, being felt. You know where else that shows up? Believe it or not, that shows up in the preseason, ladies and gentlemen. Because as I've been saying, physicality, the mentality of it, that being a part of who you are, it's not just something that you just make out of thin air by just talking about it. It's who you are, whether that's first team, second team, third team, does not matter. So I know the starters are going to be out there. I don't care. I'm looking to see, are they finishing these plays? They're through the whistle. How sound are they? Tackling. All that stuff matters to me because I get it. Second team, third team. But if they're doing that, just imagine what that first team unit is doing there. So those are some things I'm watching for in this preseason game. Jay Lombardi said Bell will be a Steeler or Commander by week 1. I could see them going was it Boss Man Fat? I want to say it was Boss Man Fat who got traded for Noah Igbenogany, right? Low-end player for low-end player. And then the very first game, Noah Igbenogany, or as we used to call him, Noah Inactive, because he was inactive for a lot. He had a touchdown. Bell rapper too, bro. Darren said 93 like a book. Come on, man, with the Blue Moose. You're talking about Jay Toia. That's a guy that's got to make some noise too. Again, not a whole lot of film on Jay Toia this camp. There's obviously plays and whatnot. But just based off of what I've been seeing, quiet. And if you go look at the depth chart, yeah, let's go ahead and look at the depth chart. They're still rolling out here. Let's start off with this, Quentin. We don't need you out there, Quentin. We got you, bro. Let's look at this defense. Let's start with this defensive tackle room right here, bro. Otito Ogbanya, Kenny Clark, Quentin Williams, your starters. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Jonathan Bullard, not going nowhere. He's been hurt, but he ain't going nowhere unless he's extremely hurt. And this is the unofficial depth chart, all right? So this isn't set in stone just quite yet. Then there's Jay Toia right there as a backup, what would be considered nose tackle here in LT Overton. If I had to guess right now, I don't think Jay Toia would make this team. He has a prototypical size. What is he, 6'2", 350, something crazy like that, 340. He has that size, but I haven't seen anything to say, yeah, this is a really good fit for him. I don't know if the gap and a half is a good fit. He might need to be in that kind of two gappy scheme. Just hold my water, find the ball after that. And then LT Overton, who I could see being a DNP for most of the season, depending on how, light or heavy they want to go there. So I think Jay Toia really needs to go. T-Jack said, will they keep 5? If they keep 5, or yes, I think they will keep 5 because you got 4 you're definitely keeping, and then I think you have a 5th one because I think you need that in this 3-4 base. Will they keep 6 would be the question. Most of this is pretty much chalk. But here's what I find interesting. There's 2 ors here, okay? Let's start with the first or. Backing up Donovan Izaraku, Sam Williams, or Malachi Lawrence. Now, Malachi Lawrence is a rookie. Sam Williams is a 5-year veteran. Malachi Lawrence is a first-round pick. But Sam Williams seems to have had more of a louder camp. So I think this is a battle right here, right? That's what this or to me showcases. Sam Williams, Malachi Lawrence. Now, as a veteran, I don't think Sam is one of the veterans I sit in preseason. I think you let him and Malachi battle this thing out. And then the other or I find interesting is Savon Revel and Kobe Durant. We had a great conversation about this, me and 2i on the Sky and 2i show. Kobe's having a fantastic camp. But guess what now? So is Savon Revel. He's caught up. So what do you do then? Deron Bland is he's kind of stamped already on that other side. Who, oh, by the way, is also having a good camp. So this is an interesting battle because do you play these guys in preseason? I think you play Savon Revel. I think he needs the snaps. Kobe Durant doesn't really need the snaps. And I think Coach Shoddy mentioned that. He was like, oh, I was about to say, you can't hear me? Can y'all hear me? Check. All right, you good. He mentioned that Kobe Durant may not play in this game. I just looked over. Aaron said, wouldn't Sam back up Rashawn? I don't think these are, literal, if you will. I just think, all right, second team, first team, Sam and James. I agree. If they wanted to be literal, I think you flip it here. I think Dono's more of your juice rusher, if you will, and that would be James Houston as well, and then Rashawn and Sam. It really doesn't matter. It's more so about that backup outside linebacker. It's a battle between Malachi and Sam, it looks like, according to them. James Houston, we've said this when we broke down the depth. He, to me, is probably your legitimate 4 when it comes to pure pass rushing, but at the end of the day, you kind of got to say he's kind of you're probably your 3 in regards to just pass rushing. Like if you want to roll out there your best 3 pass rushers, or, as a depth chart, it's likely Dono, Rashawn, and then James Houston. So I think that's why James is there. I don't think it really matters which area, but Sam and Malachi seem to be the guys competing. One more interesting nugget here. If you go look at the specialists, it's pretty much chalk as it should be, but the backup punt returner, Caleb Downs. Now, listen, he was a good punt returner in college. Don't get me wrong. I don't need to see Caleb Downs out there, right? Better not see Caleb Downs returning no punts. No punts out there, ladies and gentlemen. Jayshon Barham is off to the side with Britt Brown right now. So if I had to guess based off this, bro's not playing. Bruh's not playing. No helmet is even on right now. I highly doubt he's going to get out there and get real work. Don't expect it. Dak Prescott to George Pickens, they're throwing right now on air probably until they get to team period. Man, look, George. How do you watch George Pickens this training camp and not come away with supreme excitement? I think there is a world where George Pickens finishes as the number one wide receiver this year. I think there's a world where that happens. Now, that probably comes in a situation where CeeDee Lamb doesn't have as many yards or touchdowns, but boy, it feels like you put the ball in the area with George right now, and he's coming down with it. All right, let's see what you guys are saying here about the depth chart. Then we'll get to the offense side of the ball. Dave Irwin said Durant's cornerback 1. So we had this conversation the other day. Overreaction or reality? Durant CB1. At that point in time, it felt like Durant was the most consistent and best cornerback, but I said overreaction because he's not cornerback 1. He's not a guy you're going to roll out there against the top guys. I don't think physically that's probably what they want and what he thrived in, especially if you have to man up. Fantastic in zone. That's for damn sure. But what you saw, and again, love Durant, but now this is where I got to take my homer hat off real quick. Where his struggles or deficiencies, if you will, is you ask him to just play pure man. Yeah, now it gets a little choppy. Now I don't know if they would want to do that with some of those wide receiver ones. That's where I think Savon Revel, if he can continue to elevate, now you got size on the outside and then Durant in the slot if they call for Durant in the slot. Because Caleb's going to be in there. So that's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting. Mr. York said, bro, I'm excited for GP3. How can we not be, bro? Can we not be? King West said, you're not crazy. That's our best 5 DBs. Then when we play dime, we can add Hooker a lot. What I am curious to see, if Durant continues to ball out, Savon Revel looks like that. Bland continues to show, okay, I'm back a little bit here. I get y'all. I get they want Caleb to do the slot stuff, bro. I do. But shit. Put Caleb on the roof. Look, Hooker, I totally understand, man. Veteran, been around. Thompson, Caleb, Savon Revel, Durant, Bland. Let's boogie. Somebody's feelings are going to get hurt. It is what it is. Somebody's feelings are going to get hurt. Dave said more versatile inside and outside, experience, feisty. You talking about Durant? Yeah, Durant is I like that addition. Family Man said Revel will be cornerback 1 by year's end. I could definitely see that. He has all the ingredients to be that guy. And had he not got injured, he likely gets taken in the top 15, 20 picks of that draft. Twitchy Terp. Shouts out to Terp. Seemed to be this talk about his roster spot. I just never believed there's anything there, bro. He has a role on his team, not just special teams, but as a change of pace receiver. But, we had to have some conversations in the offseason. Cowboy Mike said it's a good problem to have, Sky. I 100% agree. 100% agree. Well, this is interesting. I'm not sure who this character is. Here, let me see. You're new. KH6648 says, you want a guy who is kicking pylons. Let me talk about this guy right here. Kicking pylons and goading all the DBs on the other as wide receiver 1. GP is fun. He's not wide receiver 1. This is a perfect example of what Mike Irvin was talking about. Let me press the button real quick. Wide receiver 1.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
as a fan base, sometimes we gotta get. We can't get caught up in the arbitrary numbers, bro. You've got CD Lamb and George Pickens, and we want to make a fuss about wide receiver one. What?
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Who cares? What do you mean make him wide receiver one? Player. He is going to be just as impactful and important in game planning as CD Lamb. Whether you like him kicking pylons or not. I love the attitude. Give a damn about him kicking pylons and talking shit to the quarterbacks. I love that attitude. We had another guy that was like that too, that was wide receiver one. But why we doing this again? Why we pitting these guys against each other again? We got them both. Now, if there's an alternative meaning you have to that, please enlighten me. But I'm here to tell you right now, I do not care about the arbitrary wide receiver one. He's wide receiver two. What is that? It don't mean shit. Because you have CD and George Pickens on the team, and they're both going to be a problem. And they're both going to be game plan likely at the same rate from the opposing teams and with Shoddy and Clayton Adams. And that's beautiful. But I think as a fan base, we are so used to fighting, not against each other, but having to fight for certain guys, and that it kind of bleeds over into an amazing situation. This is an amazing situation. This shouldn't matter. This shouldn't matter. Yeah, triggered over the pylon is crazy. Well, we talked about Marquise Bell. Nicole Hutchinson just said Marquise Bell getting coached up by Christian Parker. I think he's on a hot seat, y'all. Sully, that's real, bro. That's real. He said, dudes always want that dog till they get one, and we get mad about kicking a pylon. I could say some things, but we ain't. Come on, MVS. MVS out today with the knee. That's unfortunate for him. Not that I thought he would make the team, but he was going to have a fantastic preseason, I think, to make the team. If they go only 5 receivers, 6, maybe. 6, maybe. But Marquise Bell, I think, is on a hot seat. Julius Wood is having a fantastic camp. People may forget he had a good one as a rookie. He was one of the guys we let go, and we were like, God damn. Doesn't mean he's going to go somewhere and be all pro or Pro Bowl or even a starter. He didn't. But it was like, damn. He's back, and he's picked up right where he left off. But I can see Marquise Bell being a guy that gets cut. All right, KH came back and said, I love GP. I'm not sure I want GP without CD. I want both. PS, not mad. Gotcha. Appreciate you. And I don't know how new you are here. Not calling you out, bro. This is how we roll here. I 100% understand that. I take GP with or without. But yes, I want both as well. And I don't think they're going to have GP without CD. I will say that. Appreciate you. Jay, stop doing that, bro. Marquise Bell's a Commander or Steeler by week 1. Call off the dogs on KH. Yeah. See, I gotta watch. Hey, Toxic, I gotta watch myself. Sometimes I feel like I'm calling the dogs, but you know how I do here. All right, here we go. Truest drop one that says, Sky, if the offense stays good to start the season, would you credit Shoddy or Clayton Adams more? Y'all doing it. God. Why y'all want to do this? And same question if the offense flops to start the season. I prefer that. So the second question is more interesting. If the offense balling, I don't give a damn who get the credit over there with Shoddy and Clayton Adams. But to answer your question, to be fair, this is definitely Shoddy's offense. Have you listened to Clayton Adams' interview? Please go listen to Clayton Adams talk to The Athletic. He was asked about that, about coaching trees, and is this your offense, or et cetera, et cetera. And he said, in short, I'm a part of the Schottenheimer tree. This is his offense. I'm here to help and aid it. I'll answer the other part of your question here in a second, but here we go. We got some film. Looks like this is a Jaden Blue play here. Man, I can't wait till they start hitting. Somebody thud it up here. Let me mute this real quick, though, because I don't want... Boom. Here we go. Calvin Watkins says Jaden Blue gets knocked down. That's not what I'm looking at. Let's look at this. See, my eyes already went to D winners because this is a great example of the stack and track. This is why a guy like him has an inside track, pun intended if you want, to getting on the field a lot. And what I mean by stack and tracking, right? We're stacking here right over, I believe this is Malachi Lawrence. And we're not shooting these gaps. We have to track and find the ball. Boom. Found the ball. Now you also found a blocker, right? But that's what you got to do. You got to take on the blocker, force the running back to turn it inside or outside, depending where your help's coming from. And he did that. That is a textbook stack and track technique right there. Looks like, though, this defense is they slant. A little bit. Can't see from the other angle just how many yards he got, but it looks like a sound defense. Now, you have to remember, shouts out to John who talked about this. This defense is designed from a run defense standpoint. It's designed to take away the big run. So you may get 3-4 yards here and there. A lot of times you're trying to get, tackles or stops, which means roughly 3 yards or less. But you may get a 4, 5, 6 yard gain here, but they're trying to avoid the big plays that the Cowboys have given up in the run department for many years here. All right, here's George Pickens. Simple out. Simple out for GP. I just want to see the front. Seemed like they did their job. Y'all see Gary again? I'm telling you, bro. If I had to bet money on anything, now see, I need somebody to give me a predictor sponsorship. If I had to bet money on anything, predicting wise, by week 5, Rashawn Gary will have dropped back in coverage more times than he has in any season in his career. By the end of the season, Rashawn Gary will have dropped back more times than his entire career combined. Yeah. I don't think this is just for show, man. And I like it because now he has to go out there and actually be good at it, or I won't like it. But I like it because it doesn't make you one-dimensional like Rashawn Gary has been for most of his career, because that's how they asked him to just be, rush. And he's a big outside linebacker, roughly 280. That's a lot dropping back. But I think he's athletic enough to do it as long as we're staying in that hook flat area. You don't want him taking running backs on wheels and slots and things like that. Just kind of spot drop, if you will. And I think he's smart enough to kind of match and pass along, which we'll get to something like that later. Yeah, I think the offensive line won this one here. Got some Javonte Williams action. Ooh, nice cutback. Something I want to keep my eyes on, because that's definitely, it's not a wide zone, but that's definitely a nice zone run. How much more zone are we going to run under Clayton Adams this year? Because what I love about Clayton Adams is he's going to adjust to his personnel. He talked about it coming in. He talked about it this offseason. Yeah, we came in thinking maybe we're this. And then as we realized over the course of the year, maybe we're more zone team. We're more gap team. Now, they ran a good bit of zone, so it's not like they didn't do it. And I really like Javonte Williams in it. He's going to have a good year, man. My worry with Javonte Williams is he's going to be so good again to start the season that they're just going to completely dismiss having to have a guy behind him. I hope that doesn't happen, because that's how you get worn down. Offense seems to be doing good here. All right. Phil Maffa coming at you. It's a big boy. DB said we got a light over here. He would have ran through whatever cornerback that was, though. I'll tell you that much. Right there? Yeah, he would have dipped his shoulder and ran right through him. Here's Jay Toia again. Let's take a look. Yeah, offsides. Another stack track. Winners, and it's funny because Scott Simmons deliberately pointed out Winsers when it came to this specific, like taking on this scheme and learning from it. He does another good job here. Finds it. All right. Make him cut back. Now, what Winters doesn't see here is Jonathan Mingo is coming to take his head off. And this is where you want your cornerback to fill. Again, don't know how many yards that is. But if the cornerback has to make this tackle here, Malachi Lawrence would have to make this tackle here, and you're probably looking at, what, 3-4 yard gain? If not, yeah, he's probably going to rip off a big run. All right, we got a deep shot. Play action. Well, they're going to run that thing to death. That play action guard rollout thing. Nothing there. Let's see what we got up front. Doesn't look like we got much of a rush. A Q. Double team on Q. Oh, Q was about... Q was not... Q... What I love about Q, this is something that... A term we talked about over the last few years that I adopted. His feet don't die. Like his feet don't die in the dirt. If Q can't get you on the first move, he's over here. It's really hard to see him, but he over here. Okay, y'all doubling me. I can't get you on this this outside rush. I'm gonna just track inside and try to get pressure. His feet don't die. You see that a lot with Jay Toia. His feet tend to die. George Pickens play right here. Another play action. I think this might have been the play we saw earlier. PJ Locke meets fellow Longhorn. I think this is the knockdown play as well. Yeah. And this is where's Malik Hooker? I wonder if Malik is still out. Just how physical is that opposite safety going to be? I don't take Malik Hooker as a physical safety, but he did impress me. I think it was in 2022 or 21. One of them, I think it was 22. He did it very well around the box. I don't think he ever recaptured that magic, but I don't think he was ever a liability, if you will. But they're going to ask these, again, cornerback, nickel, safeties. They're going to ask them to fill. You can't shy away from it. Let's see what y'all saying in the chat. Hate these tackles. Let me see. I wasn't. What are we looking at? Which play? The Pickens joint? Let me take a look. I don't say too much here. It's funny. I haven't really noticed the tackles. Now I haven't. The shots have been super tight. I can't see on this side. Right? Nothing there. It's the run play. All right, here come Izzy. Israel Abinaconda has a huge opportunity here. I firmly believe that Jaden Blue is a part of this operation. Maybe not as a conventional RB2. We've talked about this. But I think he is a part of this operation. They want him to be the pass-catching guy, change of pace back, cop back, right? Not your tote the rock 15, 20 times guy. And I think Phil right now has the leg up as the 3. The bigger body who can then tote the rock a little bit more if Jay Will goes down. The other option on the goal line, right? Short yardage. Continue that physicality if Jay Will comes out or they want to keep running Phil. I think he's that guy. But Phil, I think, has a chance to kind of usurp. Not Phil, excuse me. Israel Abinaconda has a chance to kind of usurp him. And Phil Maffa. I don't think that's ironclad there. I think Blue's role is closer to being solidified, if you will, than the RB3. I don't think either is stamped, but I think Blues is closer. Now, you go out to have a terrible preseason, then that opens up the door, right? But he's going to be interesting to watch to follow in preseason, for sure. Oh, he was Israel Wakanda for a very long time. So if I butchered that, Abanakanda, hey man, I did my best, brother. I did my best. All right, Savon Revel with an athletic pass breakup against Ryan Flournoy from Patrick Nosey Walker, and then immediately sent over to cover CeeDee Lamb on the next play. Cowboys are indeed developing him as a starter. So, we talked about this, right? I don't think that's by accident. Revel being first and then Durant with the this is a battle, man. We talked about the cornerback battle before. We talked about this. You might say, well, how's this? They're the starters, sure, but where? I firmly believe this is a legitimate battle, man. Here's another shot of that. Just got to keep my boy up. All right, here's the pass breakup from Savon Revel. Man, I wish we had another angle. I want to see how it started. But I understand. I don't want to show the whole play. All right, let's get to this. See if we can slow it down. Terrence been getting whooped by, it seemed like everybody but Dono. It's the strangest thing. All right, what's happening over here? Make him run the hump. Okay, Guyton. Good blitz pickup by, and we know Jay Will can do that right here. Double on Kenny Clark. And Tyler took care of it. And then finish it with the pass breakup. Seemed like the blocking up front was cool. And we got a great play made by Savon Revel, man. I truly believe, y'all, when the Cowboys elect to go more man stuff, and this is something that CP talked about in regards to the strengths of Savon Revel, I think that's your guy. Now he's going to be in for a gauntlet throughout the season. But remember how last year it was, all right, DB. All right, Duran. Go lock it down. And man, specifically in the red zone, he was getting whooped. Now he was hurting. But I think they want Savon Revel, who's bigger, stronger, faster, quicker, longer. I think they want him to be that guy. Hawk, that ain't selfish, bro. That ain't selfish. Abana Anaconda out there hustling. Abana Anaconda is crazy. Don't get me started because that's funny. I might use that. Abana Anaconda. I like Abana Wakanda. George Pickens so shifty, he faked out the cameraman. Let's see here. Ooh, Leofold got dirtied. Hold on. I don't give a damn about no George Pickens. Hold on real quick. See, to me, Terrence opened that up and Lawrence didn't take advantage of it. Look like the tackles are having a better day today, but just real quick. See, this is where my bad. My watching film brain is clicking on. I gotta remember, I'm actually talking to an audience, so apologize. This is where I would have wanted a commit. You got him, brother. Lawrence, you got him. You sold the outside shoulder. You put the foot in the dirt to cut inside. You got him. Now, plant, swim, go. For whatever reason, he got to start dancing right here. There is no need to dance right here. That's a wasted step. And now you allow Terrence to square up, and you're done. And you're done. All right, let's go back down the line. Y'all feel me on that, by the way. Again, I ain't BT Jordan, but I bet you if BT Jordan want to watch this film, he would say, you set him up perfectly. That's why he's striking you with his outside hand here. If you would have just ripped inside or even just planted and got inside, you likely get a big hit on the quarterback here. For whatever reason, you wanted to fight him, and now you lose. LT Overton. Okay, we got a stunt. And then who's spinning? Oh, that's why Leofold got dirted. Let's see here. Good rep. Good stuff. O-line, that's good stuff. All right, D-line, I want to see some wins now. Now I'm getting a little greedy for the D-line now. I want to see some dubs. D-winners with athletic bat down. Let's see where we at, D-winners. Hold on, where we at, bro? Was he sugaring? Hell yeah. Ah, right there. Okay. Good stuff, D. Winners, because y'all be killing me with that. Let's see the other shot here. So not much of a better shot. Oh, well, a little bit. A little bit. Looks like this was a play action. Yep. Play action, little rollout. D Winner stops, gets his hands up. Good stuff. All right, that's a dub. We'll take it. Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat here, man. Toxic talking about the Facebook Marketplace Freeney spin. Yeah, I have not seen this spin move work that well for anybody in camp so far. I haven't seen it happen. I'm trying to make this a tiny bit bigger. RC says, Sky, speak my language. Let all three cornerbacks play and put Caleb and Thompson on the roof. That's where I'm at with it, brother. That's where I'm at with it. Here we go. Dak to CD Lamb. Quick little slant. Yeah, Savon Rebel wanted that one back. I'm not mad at that coverage, bro. Like, I'm not mad at that coverage. Just better positioning. Fire throw, like he put some fire on it and just missed it. I'd imagine you'd wrap up for the tackle. Once again, bro, like look at the O-line. I don't know what it is, but you know how some players just they have a kryptonite. You know, Aaron Donald's kryptonite, believe it or not, was my man we got from Texas some years back. What's my man's name, y'all? Went over to Miami. I think he had to retire. Had a bat. Is Terrence Arako's kryptonite? I haven't seen him beat him yet. They ain't running home. All right, let's see. Let me see. Y'all got my man's name? Connor Williams. Thank you. Aaron Donald's kryptonite was Connor Williams, low key. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's see. Let's go down the line. We're going to double. And that's the thing about this scheme. It is going to force a double team on somebody every play. So you double Kenny. I get one-on-one with Quinnen. Now, not every team is going to have Tyler Smith. All right. Okay, look like we got a dub, though. I can't see how, but if I had to guess based off of this angle, would love to see a different angle here. Tyler Guyton got baited upfield. Okay, he kind of attacked a little bit upfield. And then Rashawn gets inside and has a chance for a hit, but that ball is way out. So it looks like a dub for Rashawn Gary, who continues to have a really, really good camp, y'all. Really, really good camp. What would have been a sack? This wouldn't have been a sack. That ball is out, brother. Let me show you. Ball's out. Rashawn Gary back here. Well, it wouldn't have been no sack. I can't wait to see this young man in preseason, too, if he gets a shot. Anthony Smith. They didn't draft him for no reason. I don't know that he's going to make the 53 outright unless he goes stupid. But I could see them tapping him on the shoulder to get bigger and stronger for next year. Hey, look, this is what we want to see in the not regular season. We don't want to see this at all in the regular. This is what we want to see in the preseason by Joe Milton, right? I want to see Joe Milton looking off the defense, reading, scanning, coming back, timing. Like these are layups in the NFL when it comes to quarterbacks, right? These are, and that's what he is not good at. He is a fantastic 360 dunker, but he ain't good at the layups, man. Easy, got them clubs. Shay, stop it. Easy, gonna get 12 sacks. Oh man, I love it. I love it. Aaron said he reminds you of Roby Anderson. He reminds me, Roby Anderson to you, he reminds me of Devin Smith. And they kind of both fall in that same makeup. But he gives me Devin Smith. And Devin Smith will always have that famous play against Washington, man. Play action, gets behind the entire secondary for like a 60-something yard tutty. You love to see it. Rod Trap said that shit wild. Aaron Donald fights in joints because he was getting shut down by a jag. Playoffs too, bro. Go look at him in the playoffs, man. Connor Williams was fighting him in the playoffs, big dog. Okay, we got a slow down version. Who's knee drop? Oh, Witherspoon. Now we got to slow down. Let's see what we got up front. Not too much going on. Hey, look at Curtis Robinson, bro. Who is hemming Curtis Robinson up, bro? Hey, Kurt, you got to do something, man. Kurt just said, all right, man. Take my lunch money. Besides getting dirted, right, pancake, I think getting hemmed up like that, and it wasn't as bad, it wasn't as egregious. I've seen worse. Bro, don't hem me up like that. Don't be trying to lift me off my feet, man. Smacking that hand down hard as hell. Get off me. All right, we got a Jonathan Mingo sighting who's kind of cooled down in camp, ladies and gentlemen. Started off real hype. Kind of cooled down a little bit. I still think he's in the pole position, though, for wide receiver 5, but I don't think it's I don't think it's stamped. Almost. Malachi Lawrence almost got Terrence on the spin. He kind of got him, but the ball's out. Oh, that was false start, bro. That's a false start. Flag on the play. How nobody call that out? Let me see. What are we doing? Terrence, you are not Lane Johnson. They're not going to let you do that, Playboy. But Jonathan Mingo, let's act like there wasn't a full start and talk about Jonathan Mingo. I think he needs to put a little bit something on tape this preseason. I don't know if it needs to be as crazy because he has last year's camp and preseason and he has the experience and things like that. But I think they'd like to see Jonathan Mingo do a little something. And maybe it's mostly in the special teams department, but I think he's still in the pole position. You got guys like Holden breathing down his neck. We'll see about Anthony Smith, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. We had a conversation. I didn't get a chance to put it on the show, but me and Tua had a conversation. And let's talk real quick as they continue to roll some things there. Wide receiver 5, ladies and gentlemen. Here's Anthony Smith. Do you want your wide receiver 5? I don't know if they'll carry 6. I think they're so stacked 1 through 4 that 5 is probably the most they'll go. Do you want your wide receiver 5 to be a guy that can contribute at a high level on special teams this year and kind of be an emergency depth guy in case one of your top 3 go down? Or do you want it to be a guy that you can develop, probably not going to give you a whole lot on the field outside of special teams? If the number's called, he out there, but it be in a position to where the Holdens and the Smiths, they're probably not going to go to that guy much. I think it's a fascinating conversation because you have developmental guys with some tools, but those guys don't have the experience, and those guys aren't quite yet considered special teams guys just yet. You got the Mingos, who has that. Valdez-Scantling is a veteran. He's played with tons of offenses and high-level quarterbacks. But then you got the developmental guys in Anthony Smith and Holden. I don't think Hudson are having a fantastic camp. I don't think he's going to make the team. Which one? Option 1 says York. Toxic special teams. If we're depending wide receiver 5, something went wrong. Kind of what I was thinking too. Trying to win right now. Yeah. All right, let's see. All right, I think they might be off of the team period right now. So with that said, Keep locking in. Head on over if you can. Hit that like button if you're enjoying this content for day 10 of the Training Camp Central coverage. I'm still debating what I'm gonna do Saturday. Talk to the wife. I was like, man, I might go live and give some live reactions during the game for the first half. We'll see. We shall see. As these guys are still warming up, I think we got somebody on the line. Let's see what y'all talking about, man. Oh, he just hung up. He just hung up. I was finna put you on the line, man. 351-999-3787 is the call-in line if you guys want to call in. 351-999-3787. Still was my descendant. Man, he go out there and he don't step up. He gonna be right up at the kitty table again, man. I know how I feel. The whole Cuzzo thing came from our cookout segment, and I'm not about to go through all that. Just make sure all the new people y'all here for the season after week 1 when we get the dub. We're gonna have a cookout. It's basically players of the game and things like that. But it stemmed from that, right? Where there's certain people that are not allowed to sit at the grown folk table, and because we share the same last name, I was like, yeah, that's Cuzzo, but he the Cuzzo that's a little off and got to stay in the crib and play with the kids. He had to earn his way to the grown folk table, but yeah. That's interesting to say. You say still seems to have zero enthusiasm for his craft. That is very interesting. He busts his ass. I would disagree with that one, but you can work your tail off. That don't mean you're going to get better. But he busts his ass. You don't go from undrafted free agent to a 5-year starter or whatever it is at this point. And he works with O-line mastermind and all that stuff. That no one questions his work ethic. They question this damn skill. Let's get to 417. You are live. What's up? $417. You
Hello?
Yes, sir. You live.
My bad.
You good?
How you doing?
I'm great, brother. How are you? What you got? What's on your mind?
I'm doing great. What do you think about J.C. Horn?
I think he's a fantastic player.
You think we could get him at some point? You think we need him at all?
Do you have a PlayStation or you have Xbox?
I have an Xbox.
Absolutely. Go turn your Xbox on. Pop in Madden 27. Yep. Go trade for him because that's about the only way that's happening. But and they not trading JC.
I've done that before.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I get him all the time. Yeah. I like him.
Yeah, I would.
That's just all I had to say.
Yeah, if he was available, hell yeah, man, I'd go get him, bro. But I think he got the bag not too long ago. They just went to the playoffs. He is one of the best corners in the league. They're not going to touch JC Horn. All right.
Yeah.
My guy. Appreciate the call, brother.
Love the show.
Thank you,
love
man.
The show. Keep
Thank
it
you.
up.
Will do.
Have a good day.
You too, man. Let's get to 215. You are live. What's up?
Hey, Scott, man, them drugs are a hell of a thing, aren't they, man?
Hey. Hey, boss, what man say? Ease up on my back, man. Ease up on his back, dog. Like,
hey, man, what's my man Shalimar James doing? Shalimar. He does a
Shalimar's crazy, but
Shalimar,
I knew a brother named Shalimar.
That's why he needs to go back to dancing on the Soul Train, man. But the only reason why he's on the team is because he scored a game. That is not a good enough reason for him to be on the team, man. And Blue is another one that don't fit the system, man. Dropping the football, man, like it's a basketball. Come on, man. We got to have some dogs out here, man. I really don't want to see them two people on the team, man.
I think, hold on. Oh, it's Vaj, homie. I think we should give Blue a legitimate shot. And if he fails, I don't see the problem in giving him a shot, at least in preseason, because we do need to fill that role, man. I don't want to just kind of dismiss having like a change of pace back.
What's that? Anaconda's doing a good job, man. That dude put what did Denzel saying?
If Anaconda's doing good, brother, then you got to say that so is Blue. That Blue is having a good camp.
Denzel Washington saying in the movie American Gangster, you got to put a chokehold on it, man. You got to put a chokehold on that number 2 running back.
Let me ask you something about Anaconda real quick. Let me ask you something about Anaconda.
Go ahead, man.
Are you discouraged that he fumbled, or did you forget that?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. The Blue, we've seen it. We've seen this for part 2, part 3 already, man.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate with you. It's his first fumble. We had one fumble in camp, so has Anaconda. Anaconda also has terrible film in the NFL, like in real games. Like his film is not good, bro. Anaconda coming out of college, loved him. I didn't see that version of Anaconda in the NFL in real live regular season games. So if we're going to say, well, this guy did this, we seen that. We also seen it for him too. We just need to see Blue and Anaconda go out there in preseason and have a battle it out. I don't see nothing wrong with breaking the pool stick for Blue and Anaconda.
And let me ask you this, man. What is Corbin doing?
Excuse me?
What is Corbin doing?
Corbin, I seen them literally have one practice rep they showed us. So I have no clue. I have no clue, bro. Well, that settles it right there. Then Moffitt's your number 2, man. Let me say this. What's your name, bro?
Roy. This is Roy.
Roy? Oh, this is Roy Williams. Come on.
Yeah,
You gonna come here and not tell me.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm calling on my other line.
Yeah, see, you got 2 phones. See, Roy's slick. Okay, Roy. Put you in here, big boy. So I think Maffa would be the guy to take Jay Will's spot if he got hurt. I don't think it'd be Blue.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Man, I got one more thing, man.
Okay.
I'm pulling my dark horse is Leopold, man. I want him on this team, man. Leopold is a good linebacker, man. I wish I could put the playing at his right position, which is inside linebacker, not outside. That's all I got to say.
He's another dude that got to show up and show out in preseason, brother. He's another one, man.
Yeah, man.
But I appreciate you, Roy. Let me break down a couple of these plays. Thank you, bro.
All right, brother.
Hey, I know his name is Israel Abanaconda. I'm just having fun with Roy. That's all, y'all. Some people get mad when you butcher the name. Man, look, I ain't a thesaurus. All right, let's kind of take this back a little bit here. D Winters does it again. Hey, man, D Winters having a good day today, bro. He's having a good day today. Right there. Knocked the pass down. Is this the damn double slam? No, it's not. Okay, cool. Because I can't stand no. Dr. Jake Ferguson right here. Let's see. Some good quality out here. I'm really looking at Tyler right here. Okay, so I would love, I had this conversation with my guy on Twitter. I would love to know if these games are, the players have the autonomy to call them like Coach Aiden Durde said they did in years past, because this doesn't feel like a game with Q. Usually Q try to get upfield a little bit and attack the tackle to wrap around here. Could have been a stunt, and they picked it up extremely well. So let's see if I can see anything on this side. A little chip. Well, did we get an all flash fire hard, ladies and gentlemen? No, okay. We got a chip from the receiver over here. This is what you're gonna have to do sometimes for Terrence. I ain't got to give him some help. All right, good job, Terrence. Look, I can only talk about what I see, but it feels like the O-line is playing better. This is kind of what I talked about the other day. Okay, and I'd imagine this play would be called based off of you running this kind of counter pull, right? Where you're pulling Tyler Smith and you're not pulling, but you're wrapping around Jake Ferguson on this wham block. But it's a naked boot. I'm not much of a that one I would toss. I don't have the overview. Here's what I don't like it. If I'm a play caller as an offensive mind guy, I don't like to have my really underneath option coming from over on this side of the play. It's hard to explain, but you're better off doing what I saw them do last week, which was they motioned over here, right? And instead of this being naked, they basically told Jake, I'm going to need you to do this kind of all flash fry hard right here. We're going to delay release so we can make sure that Dak has because this play is dead. It played there. And we saw this a lot over the years. Naked boot, and we got a guy right in Dak's face. I get the call. It happens a lot. But there's no option, bro. This is not just some easy throw and obviously incomplete. Where is the layup? Where is the emergency option here? There isn't one. There isn't one. So I would just dirt that play, in my opinion. Dak looking for, we got an interception. Dak, we talking them up today, ain't we? Dak looking for GP with a Marquise Bell interception. He's working with the ones that kind of look like a little quasi 1-2. If I had to guess, I feel like GP would have fought for that. Hey, let's talk, chat. Do you think GP in a real game goes up for that? Either way, it's not technically double coverage. I want to know. I would love to see the all-22. God damn, that boy. Either that ball hung up in there or that boy is fast. If I had to guess, I feel like GP might, but you ain't trying to. I love to see the other angle, but good pick by Marquise Bell. He needed the momentum here as we head into this first preseason game. Funny thing, Marquise Bell getting coached up by Christian Parker. Next thing you know, an hour later, he's getting an interception. If I had to bet, Marquise Bell probably peeled off here. Good stuff, Bell. What y'all think? Y'all think that GP would have went up for that? I think GP might have went up for that, y'all. What we got from the Dallas Cowboys? Oh, we got another pick. Somebody probably has this. Tip drill. I keep calling him Sam Houston. James Houston. 2. Big fella. They call it thick 6. Pause. Who is that? Is that the Withers Bull? Is that 50? It's not 57. Can't tell, but good pick, man. 59. Let's go to the roster. Really? Okay. The chat got me. Who 59? They not letting me see, man. Here's the other angle. Okay, good. I was hoping we got another angle of this pick. Bell just tracking the ball. That's just good stuff. High pointing and everything. Yeah, seeing this angle, bro, I feel like GP would try to go for that route. That's my guess. Look, Brevis Span 4 always in the middle of this nonsense, man. I love it. This is what I noticed too. Savone Revel's ability to cover ground is special, dog. The way he caught up, and this is all the way. Boy, he's a gazelle, dog. He's a gazelle. I'm not worried about his health now. He's having a camp. Now we got some field goal kicks. All right, let's see what y'all talking about here. So there's Winters and Withers. Was that Withers? It was Withers. That's what I thought. Okay, well, let me peep that 8 Ron. Let me go back here. This the view I like? No, not that view. Here we go. Thompson. Yeah, that's a very good eye right there, Aaron. And this is the communication they talk about, right? We've seen that a lot with a rookie, by the way, which is crazy to say. And Caleb Downs. Watch JT right here, though. JT letting you know, here comes the deep over. Here come Bell. JT doesn't abandon his responsibility. And obviously once, because of CeeDee Lamb right there, man, that's good stuff. That's just good communication by the Cowboys and no coverage bust or anything like that. I feel like in years past, we're talking about Marquise Bell likely. There's CeeDee Lamb right there. Just biting down here on CeeDee Lamb. Now, there was an outlet here from the running back, so maybe that was a responsibility. But this is where instincts kick in, right? Hey, JT saying, hey, Bell, here comes the deep over. I got you here. Bell breaks off, gets the pick. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's get to 929 who's on the horn. What's up with you, 929? We'll keep watching while we're talking.
Hey, what's going on, Scott? How you doing today? Can you hear me all right?
I got you loud and clear, brother.
Hey, man, it's been a while since I could call in. Just been busy with work. I was trying to call early of the spring off season and stuff like that, but just want to thank you, man, for keeping us alive and well through this boring time. You made it fun and loving what the Joneses are doing. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I tried.
You were saying something. Hey, you do more than try, my boy. You do more than try. But this whole offseason, man, I've just been loving what I'm seeing. You can clearly see, even with the little bit that we can get from the Rams practice, that's the one that I want to talk about because it gets easy kind of sometimes when you're going against the same one. I think you guys don't miss shows of anything that Scott be on, you catch the collective or anything else. It's one of those things where you get used to battling Quinnen Williams, so you kind of have good days against Quinnen. But what do you do when you battle Brandon Fisk or these other guys? And what they did the other day makes me so happy. I am thoroughly excited about this training camp. I'm excited to see what they're going to do for this Saturday. But my main question to you was, I haven't heard not much about the fourth or fifth cornerback. Who do you think that is the front runner for that? Because if it's going to be your big three with Savone, Deron Bland, and Kobe Durant, and Caleb playing nickel, who would be that fourth, fifth, sixth guy that's like the front runners?
I think that is a legitimate battle right now. I don't think anybody has taken that pole position, if you will. So, I mean, you got Kalen Carson, you got Weezy Bridges, Josh Butler. Like these guys, Devin Moore is the draft pick, but I got a feeling they're gonna hit Devin Moore on the shoulder and have him sit down for the year on IR. That's just what I'm guessing. But I don't think any of that is solidified right now, and it's gonna play out the remaining camp and preseason. But I don't think there's a pole position guy. I've seen all these guys have moments in camp, and I haven't seen any of them be, no pun intended for Reddy Stewart, but be steady and be ready in that standpoint. So I think they're competing.
All right. Well, I just wanted to ask that question, what your thought was, and I kind of feel the same way. So I'm definitely looking at that cornerback battle more so this weekend. And to all the fans, enjoy this. It's been a long time since we have acted like a normal franchise. It's been a very long time since we've acted like a normal franchise, and this is different for a lot of us. Newer Cowboys fans we're in our early 30s, and we haven't seen this at all. Like, enjoy it, and just like Foot said the other night, in real life, I'll slap y'all. Y'all have a blessed one.
Forget where that's at. Appreciate you, man. Hey, I had that on here somewhere. Where I have it at?
If y'all see me in person, I'll really slap y'all.
Oh, y'all gotta go see that episode, man. What an episode. I got another one for y'all later. I ain't gonna drop it here though. Look at this, man. Caleb down. Caleb is so good. Oh man, Caleb is so good, bro. I don't even know that we've ever had a guy that covered a slot like that. Head around. Oh. Take him off the field. I'm not taking him off the field. I just need time to gather myself, man, because somebody was assuming. Shouts out to you on Twitter. Assuming I was hyping up Maris Leofold. I said, good sir, and I showed him proof that ain't the case. I said, if you want to see me hype up somebody, go find all my Caleb Downs records, all my Caleb Down hits. Put the goddamn gold jacket on. That's hyping. I'm hyping him. Call it what you want, bro. Yeah, I'm hyping him. I don't give a damn about the 6 outside line. I'm not that tight, man. Caleb, yes. Do y'all see this, man? Get physical. Locate the quarterback. All right. You want to turn up field? I'm right with you. I'm right with you. You turn around, I turn around. Let me get the ball. That boy's a problem. Let me look at LT Overton real quick because he had a nice rep right here. There go my dogs, man. I can't stand when they hear somebody at the door, they go crazy. All right, here's LT Overton right here, man. Good spin move on Cooper BB. Nice move. Nice move. I'm telling you, I might even have it. I don't got the graphic no more. LT Overton was we did a episode where we talked about who has boom bust potential, you know, who's my year 2 guy, things like that. And LT Overton was my year 2 guy. And it had nothing to do with like, oh, LT Overton is going to be a bum year one. Nothing like that. It's just that in that room right now, he's likely going to be a DNP unless there's injuries. But a year 2 guy, meaning a year in the system, learning from these vets, getting bigger and stronger and wiser, working on his craft. Year 2, I think he has the potential to be, or I hope so, maybe I'm speaking it into existence. You're Brent Kiesel, all right? Because you're going to need that in this system, man. You need a guy who you ain't got to worry about as that big end in this odd front for 5, 6, 7, hopefully 10 years. Dallas hasn't had that stability up front. They about to have it now with Quinnen Williams. They ain't have the stability up front in that way. D-Law was here for a while. He's one of the guys. But in this specific type of scheme, you're going to need that, man. I think LT Overton, you let him bake. Year 2, yeah, man. God damn, look at this boy right here. All right, let me calm down. Downs is safe fight. Come on, tell him. Somebody on Twitter was down. He was like, man, I got to see Downs. All right, dog. Doubt at your own will, bro. Oh, this is... This is not, don't take this lightly. I guarantee you this was an earned rep. I guarantee you this was an earned rep. So Camden Brown has been making plays every day in camp pretty much. There was a point in time, I remember a guy that was not necessarily making plays every day, but he was where he needed to be every day. And he worked his way, it's insane, to the first team with Dak Prescott. Thou shalt not be named because he was up out of here after week 1. Might be in week 3. But Camden Brown getting some work with Dak. I'd bet you it wasn't just a coach's decision. I bet you they said, let's see what he got. Dak said this. Let's see what he got. And the reason why this is massive, man, because if he stacks good reps continually in camp and then goes and does it in the preseason, you want to talk about a dark horse. Wide receiver 5. That's a dark horse right there. Now, if they carry 6, then it might not be as crazy, but I'm still not sure if they'll do that or not. That is an earned rep. That is an earned rep, man. LT also a 5-star recruit. Yeah, he was, I want to say it was the top prospect coming out. Did he play that way at, Alabama and previously? Was it A&M? No, but I think he had a solid collegiate career, but he never was, he was supposed to be a guy that, hey, man, this guy when you get in top 10, top 15 type. Didn't happen, but it's cool. Let him bake a little bit. I think it'd be all right in his role. Caleb Downs with a pass break up in the flat. I need another angle. Oh, we got an interception. Ooh, nice pick, Kurt. Nice pick, Curtis Robinson. All right, Joe. You're going to be first up next week or on Saturday. Okay, here we go. Here's the other angle. Kind of scramble drill thing. Okay. Man, Caleb. I know Caleb hasn't gotten picks yet in camp. I think Caleb Downs gets more picks this year than he has in his last 2 years in college. I know he hasn't had any picks just yet. I just think the scheme is going to baffle quarterbacks into decisions. And Caleb is going to be around the ball to make him pay. I do. Trayshawn Holden, here we go. There we go, Trayshawn. Let me see the route if I can. There we go. Nice. I think if you talk about receivers, I think Trayshawn Holden, if you want to talk about being, the pole runner, I think he's going to be the guy that has the best preseason this year. If they get him to rock. I think it's going to be Trayshawn Holden, just like he was last year. Kobe Bryant got up. He sure did. I want to see another angle. Just how high. Hold on. Here we go. Pat be getting that shot, boy. That's nice. That's nice. Man, I love Kobe Durant's play, man, dog. I do. He threw that up, too. I mean, shit. I don't even think he might have jumped higher than goddamn Ferg. Bunnies. Boy, we got some boys over there, I tell you. Here's another angle. All right, so we seen that aspect a lot. Here's what I like, because it wasn't getting this part. Drop back, Dak looking left, excuse me. In the middle, right. Defense making him hold the ball and get through his progressions. Now, did we get pressured? No, but that's why you also want to have a good coverage on the back end. I'm looking right now. Let me look at the line. This is a good angle to look at the line. It's been a minute. We kind of tailed off on the line. Let's get back. Cuzzo got whooped. About time somebody beat his ass, because it seemed like nobody could get him today, which is weird because he began whooped. Rashawn Gary, that's just too easy. I don't even think that's a sack. That's a sack. Book. Good stuff, Book. Get a double team on Quinnen. Yep, you double team. And then let's take a look at Tyler Guyton. I don't think Dono has won a rep today. Now, I will say this. I did want to see this defensive line kind of get some, because it seems like they haven't. Let's see. I got another one. Ryan Flournoy grab. When I say D-line, I mean the edges, the edge group. Yeah, I ain't going to lie. I don't want to see this too much. I ain't ready to see Durant or Revel blow him up. I know we can't, but blow him up, bro. All right, somebody got whooped. That's not a whooping. You made him run. You made him run out. Who that? That's Ferg. That's actually a dub. Let me slow it down. Comfortable pocket. Almost that Bermuda Triangle I talk about right here. Good throw, good spot, good catch, good protection. It feels like the protection, if we had to give it a percentage, it feels like they're winning by 80, 90% of the time. Again, only can go off of what they're putting out there, but good stuff. A flag? Where? Hey, George. I like this, but I ain't no flag, boy. Good stuff, Savone. I think he in his bag right now, y'all. Now we got to check on Durant, Kobe Durant now. Hold up. Savone in his bag right now, man. Got a little hand thing going on here with Kobe Durant. Let's see if we get an update. Don't like that, but love this rep. Like, look at this real quick. Just look at them standing next to each other. Boy, you mean to tell me you don't want this Gazelle guarding teams ones? I do. He fast enough. He twitchy enough. He athletic enough. He's long enough. You're gonna get beat sometimes, but I don't take him as a guy that loses confidence when that happens. And he going up against GP every goddamn day. Stop it, man. Let's see if we got an update. Man, that's a good play. Stop it, GP. What happened to Durant, though? I'm still trying to figure out. I don't see anything here. Maybe jammed his finger. That's all I could think about. Let's take a look at the line. Okay, Gary dropping back, so nothing here. Is that a stunt? Good stuff by the line again. Feels like the line is having a good day. I'm going to talk to Vach, though. He down there. I don't think Vach called. Let me make sure he didn't call. He did not. Hey, Tommy, what you recording with out there, bro? This is crispy. Okay, BB. BB going against the Rook. BB a stump, man. You know how strong you got to be for a 300-pound man. Basically got him off his skis right here, right? You lost for the most part. Well, you know, Quentin Williams is over. Recovers, gets a little help right here. Hold tight, get him out the way. Good recover, BB. What a beautiful play though by Savone Revel, man. That's a pick if it's any more inside. Good stuff. Jaden Blue, hey, Tommy, I'm gonna need you to post more videos, fam. This quality's insane. Let's take a look at this blocking. All right, we get some down blocking here. Read the hole. Cut back. Okay, we got a tackle, I think, right here by Overshown. I think Overshown probably gets a 4-yard, 3-yard stop. I don't know. It's tough to see from that angle, but they only can thud up. They can't even thud up with these on right now. Like what I'm seeing today. Yeah, Tom B, definitely shifty, super shifty. He put that on display in that Giants game, man. He had a couple really good shifty runs, but like for the most part, with running backs, you need your line to give you the ability to do that. Okay, we got a Kobe Durant one, or is this yes, this that one. We already got it. All right, bro, that camera crazy, Blake. On his phone, he got a Nikon 3000 on his phone. Insane. Oh, we got a call on the line, 717. What's up with you?
Hey, what's going on, my brother?
What's up? This Jeff?
This is Jeff. Yes,
What's
it
up,
is,
Jeff?
my man.
How you doing?
What's going on? Hey, listen, I wanted to pick your brain about something because I've been thinking about that. You know, just what coaching is going to, how much coaching will matter with this team this coming year.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what, when I look back at it, here's what I have seen. We've always had this thing hanging over our heads about the Cowboys can't beat the good teams. And so when I went back and I looked at who were they referring to, it was always the 49ers or the Rams and teams like that. And then I looked at our coaches versus those coaches, and it's always the same.
Mm-hmm.
It seems that, you know, especially in the Dak era, you know, there was Jason Garrett who couldn't beat Mike McCarthy, and Mike McCarthy who couldn't beat his replacement or Kyle Shanahan. You see what I mean? And it seems like that those were the patterns. And so when I'm looking at it now, I'm like, you know, we've always had good teams. Like, we've always had good rosters. But it seemed that in those moments when we were playing against those teams and those coaches, somewhere along the line, something always went wrong. Something was always, we didn't look like we were able to match their intensity or something.
Preparation.
But I don't feel that. Go ahead.
Preparation is also a big one. I feel like some of these coaches just didn't have them as prepared. Yeah, I'm with you. One of my things, I have a couple of sayings that I started on this channel. Context matters was a big one, and coaching matters was huge when I first started this. I haven't said it a whole lot because, again, I try not to bore you with the same things, but sometimes I have to.
Right.
But coaching matters to me, man. And when it's come to the Cowboys' failures in the postseason, I always get crap because I always go back to coaching. Now, obviously, it really, to me, starts up top because you have to set everybody up for success, meaning front office, you got to set your coaches up for success. Coaches, you got to set your players up for success. So once you get to the playoffs, I feel like if you don't have an advantage in the coaching department, you damn sure better have a stupid squad, right? Because you're going to then ask that squad to overcome the coaching deficiencies. And I don't know that we've ever had an advantage. And if you go look at some of the games where the Cowboys, you know, lose, granted, some of them have been tight playoff games. But guess what? When it's tight, usually the coaching gives you that edge, right? So if you go look at it,
my point.
Have we ever had the advantage against Kyle Shanahan? No. Mike LaFleur outclasses Mike McCarthy at this point in their careers, right? And then you go back to the Jason Garrett era. I don't think we've ever had an advantage there either. So
no, but this is what I'm saying. Like, this is what people don't realize. Scott, I'm telling you, bro, if you go back and you look at it, here's what you'll see. The last divisional round game that Mike McCarthy won was against Jason Garrett in 2016. Like, people don't see that. And the one that he won before that was against Jay Gruden, against a Washington team that had was a 9-7 football team in 2015, and then you beat Jason Garrett the year before that in 2014. That was what Mike McCarthy had on his resume when he came to Dallas, and everyone was like, well, yeah, he can do this. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't know, because he hasn't proven to have beaten anybody substantial since they went to that Super Bowl in 2010. Yeah. And I keep saying that.
You know, I understood the McCarthy was he one of my top choices? No, but I understood the McCarthy hire coming off the Jason Garrett era. I think they wanted a guy that knew how to build a program. I think things got a little bit loose towards the end, but I don't think McCarthy at that point in his career was a guy that was at the forefront of things, that was this wizard, but he could build a program and do what you think in the right direction. And he did that. Like, it wasn't all bad with McCarthy.
He did.
He helped guide a program. And he did it, in my opinion, with the front office who kind of handicapped him a little bit throughout the thing. So, but are you of the ilk of the McVays and the Shanahans and the Kevin O'Connells and the LaFleurs and the Ben Johnsons? Nah, man. He ain't like that. And you kind of wish you brought somebody like that over, because you had a quarterback who was in his 20s and in early 30s in his prime of this game. And you had offensive line who we were trying to rebuild. You had skill players that you had it all there to have that type of guy. But with that said, they still went out, were good on offense. But once you got to the playoffs, a lot of the times you saw, well, where is what we did in the regular season and the postseason? Same thing with the defense. Where is what we did in the regular season and the postseason? It was just right. I don't think we were aligned as much as it may have seemed. I think 12-5 covered up a lot of issues that eventually would show their face in the postseason.
And you know what? I'll tell you this here. When I think back to that 2023 playoff game against the Packers, when, they said everything lined up for the Cowboys and they went in and they got boat raced by the Packers. But here's what I have to remind people. The year before, we were in Green Bay and we were winning that game in the fourth quarter, 28-14, and we lost.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's the matchup. It's the coaching. It's all of that stuff that is wrapped up into all of this, man. And I remember that. So when we lost that game in 2023, it shook me. I can't lie. But
right.
I had to revert back to 2022 and say, is it the matchup? Is it the teams? Like, what is this?
To stop you from continuing to going back in the past, because I ain't going to lie, I'm really pissing me off. Not you, but thinking about that game is pissing me off.
I got you, bro.
I'm going to bring us back on track. I'm going to bring us back on track because I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah,
you're essentially getting at you believe in this coaching staff giving you an advantage on game day. And
what I'm
and I feel much better about that too. Me and Tuai call it the clipboard warriors, and we're going to have a segment throughout the year about that, right? Because I don't think we can overlook that matchup throughout the week, right? Do you have the advantage here? Probably not going to have it to start right away because people look at Shadi and they he, and then you got a first-time defensive coordinator. But I wouldn't sleep on that first-time defensive coordinator. I'm gonna just say that. But
you can't, not in this era of football. You can't.
No.
Right.
No. But the clipboard warrior aspect of it matters, bro. It matters. And if we can get Shadi year 2 with Clayton Adams, taking that next step, I think he has potential. Yeah, I think he has potential to be to out coach offensively some teams. And again, I hate to keep going back. One more, and we can wrap this up. If you look at what the offense had to deal with from a special team standpoint, from the defensive standpoint, what they did was even more impressive than you think. And that's with the flaws that they had. But it was more impressive than you think, man. So if you see an improvement year 2, you're talking about the best offense in the league, big dog. My opinion.
I know so, man. I mean, here's and the crazy thing is I was never one of those Cowboy fans. When I knew that we weren't going to be good, I said it. I knew we weren't going to be good in 2024. I saw what we had lost across our defensive line, and I told a lot of Cowboy fans, you can't lose that much at one time and expect to be competitive. The NFL is too good for that. And I knew that. And it was the same way I felt about last season. You know, we have you can't tell me that we're going to bring in this coach. And I understood all of that. I don't feel that way about this particular season. I don't. And you know what's crazy, bro? I know I'm right.
Man, I definitely feel very confident. Now, the thing is, they have to actually go out there and show it, though.
Absolutely.
It's super projection as opposed to these other teams. Like I just rattled off the McVays, the Shanahans, the Ben Johnsons, the LaFleur. They've proven to be able to give you a schematic advantage or a clipboard advantage. Whereas in Dallas, I think you got to stack some seasons. Even with the offense going hard, it's easy to say, well, offense is always good, right? No matter who's doing this, who's doing that. But there is times, even through those years, the offense was good. And if you've been on this show for years, what would I tell y'all at points during the season, specifically during the end of the season? It looked weird, y'all. Like the 12-5 max things, but I'm like, hey, but when we break this down, when we do Tape Tuesdays, when we really dive in and do surgery on this, shit look weird. And if it don't get better by the postseason,
I would see the same thing, bro.
Yeah. But hey, yo, let me let you go, man. So we not.
Yeah, man, go ahead. But I'm gonna keep on listening, though.
Appreciate
but man, like I said, once again, I love your show. Go Thank Cowboys! You. Let's do this thing.
Thank you. Salute. Yeah, man, coaching matter, man. I do think there is a wait and see with both of these guys. Now, Shadi's more proven, if you will, because he's called plays and he's been successful as a play caller, specifically last year. but there's things he can improve on, and then Christian Parker's new. But I think Christian Parker is a Mike McDonald waiting to happen. I think he's a Mike McDonald waiting to happen. Let's see here. Coach G, Scott, keep an eye on LT Overton. He is one of the guys we're going to be looking at. If you look at our board here, the rookie impact is one of the things to watch for on Saturday's game, right? And he is a part of that. I'm talking about the entire class. I want to see what type of impact they're having on this game from top to bottom. Now, I'm not moved one way or the other with the top guys. I think I'm fairly confident in their abilities and in their roles here. But everybody else outside of Barham, I don't think he's going to play. You want to see them have some type of impact. Good one on Saturday. LT Overton made a nice play or two here today. Let's see if we can carry that momentum over on Saturday. We want to see Drew Shelton. Got to see Drew Shelton play better. Devin Moore, don't know if he's going to play. He's back out there. We want to see Devin Moore make some plays. And even the undrafted guys, the DJ Rogers at tight ends and things like that. You want to see them look good too. I want to say practice. Practice feels like it's over because they're not updating anything right now at all. And usually my guy, Joe, is the first one to let us know practice is over. But I haven't even seen Joe update that. Maybe my Twitter ain't broke. I think my Twitter might be broke, yo. Let's see here, Joe. Nope. Joe ain't tweeting in a minute. The hell going on out there at Oxnard, man? What's going on out there? I feel like practice is over, though, so let's kind of wrap it up here. I'll take one more call. We'll get into the chat, some supers, and get up out of here, all right? Let y'all go. 909, you are live. What's up?
Will?
Yes, sir. You live.
Will,
finally,
I get to talk to you, my brother.
Who this?
How are you?
I'm good.
This is Donnie. It's my first time calling the show.
I appreciate you calling in, Donnie. Welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you, my brother. Look, I got to set the stage for you. I'm a school bus driver. Okay, I live out here in California, and your show usually comes on right when I'm dropping off my students at my first school. So, first of all, I love your introduction. Okay,
thank you.
And as I'm walking to the school, I'm telling you, man, it fires me up, especially on Fridays and Mondays, especially if the Cowboys win. Okay.
Hey, put a pin in that because Fridays and Mondays are likely going to be my morning show days for right now. We'll see about the other days, but definitely Friday and Monday for sure.
Okay. So I'm walking up to the school. I got you on speaker, right? Because, like I said, your intro fires me up. And people are looking at me, and I'm like, when you get to that point, Skywalker still, boom, man. They looking at me like I'm crazy. But I'm like, yeah, baby. So it's just it's been a pleasure. I've been wanting to talk to you for the longest time. Like I've told all the content creators, you guys are a blessing, man, the Cowboys Nation. I've spoken to guys like Tavash and Boss and Long Nation, Mark Holmes, Lou. It's just a pleasure to hear you guys. I definitely enjoy your content, the knowledge that you guys bring. And like I said, man, I'm so happy to finally get to speak to you.
Well, I'm happy to speak with you as well, man. I enjoy talking to the nation and going back and forth with you guys, getting your opinions on things. And I never take the compliments for granted. Y'all have no idea. This doesn't, what will Mark Holmes say? This doesn't work without y'all. So thank you, bro.
Right. Yeah, I'm super excited about the season. You know, definitely excited about some of these players like Revo and Durant, and so because I was a little worried about our secondary, you know.
Rightfully so.
And I think
there was question marks going into camp.
Yeah, and I thought I don't know about how you feel, Sky, but I didn't think it was fair to criticize Rebel on what he did last year because me personally, I don't think he should have been on the field.
Yep. Oh man, you reading my mind. I said this.
I don't think he should have been on the field.
I was on the collective. I know for a fact, but I was saying if I was the Dallas Cowboys, I would have redshirted him. The season he wasn't saving this season. This defense was cooked, and he didn't even fit the coordinator's scheme. So redshirt him, let him get healthy, and then get him back on the field. So I'm right there with you, bro. So me and Foots kind of went back and forth on this on the collective. I didn't have the worries about Savon Rebel. He's a rookie. He's a second-year player, basically kind of a year and a half type player, really, because he didn't play he didn't have no offseason, no OTAs, no mini camps. Last time he played football was September of 2020, what, 5, whatever it was?
Yeah.
He didn't play a lot of football.
Yes,
4, okay.
Yeah.
So I wasn't worried about him yet because he didn't give me anything to be worried about. The only thing to be worried about to me would be the injury, and we just had to see him get healthy. I was more worried about Deron Bland because he keeps getting dinged up with his foot. So that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, and look, we both know why he was put out there because the Cowboys were desperate.
Hey, Blake said his pops wanted him to get some experience. Let me tell you something, Blake. If a rookie's father, 3rd round pick, is making decisions about his playing time, we got bigger problems than we think. We got bigger problems than we think. So I hope like hell his pops that have no say on him playing last year.
No, that was the Cowboys all the way, man. They like I said, they were desperate. They wanted to see what the kid could do, and I was like, no, man, just redshirt him, man. You could watch him. You could see he was dragging that leg. He wasn't comfortable with that brace, and I got pissed off when I heard people criticizing this kid. I'm like, wait a minute now. It's just not fair. So, but we know how some Cowboy fans are, and so they expect immediate results and stuff like that, and they don't look at the big picture. So, but anyways, Scott, I'm going to let you go, man. I just wanted to call in and tell you how much of a fan I am of you and all the content creators, and just keep doing the good work, my brother.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the call, appreciate the compliments, and man, keep trying, but also don't try when you got kids on the bus. I've been seeing too many videos of bus drivers out here swerving and doing crazy. So you keep doing the Lord's work, because bus drivers, man, I give y'all so much props, bro. I know how I was on the bus. I was a cut up. We was cutting up back there, trading Pokemon cards and dice, all types of craziness going on the bus. So I appreciate you. Just make sure you tell them, don't cross that damn line. Don't.
For sure.
Cross that line. Thanks, bro.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think Twitter's down, and I'm pretty sure practice over. So we're gonna wrap it up bad. I hear you, Blake. I hear you. He said he told him to play through it to gain some momentum, but the momentum went the wrong way, But I didn't. When they had elected to play him, Blake, I was like, bro, this is just gravy to me. I'm not overreacting on negative stuff with this kid because he shouldn't be out there, in my opinion. Anything you see on the positive side is amazing because he shouldn't be out there, in my opinion. So I wanted to wait till he got a little out these. CP shut Twitter down. Christian Parker don't want the boys filming nothing. All right, so practice is over. I'm guessing. I don't think they're doing anything else. So, with that said, there was one more super chat. Shouts out to Ryan Compton. Not sure if you're here, Ryan, but appreciate your super chat. He dropped 10 and said, what players do you think could be trade bait if they have a good game this weekend? Fantastic question, Ryan. We often talk about that, right? Like who could get traded towards the end of this thing? I feel like trades are a little more tricky at this point because teams know, well, you're not going to keep the 7th receiver. You're not going to keep the 15th line. So you can dangle these guys out, but there are a bunch of other Hudsons, right? There are a bunch of other Kalen Carsons. I don't know that there is, unless it's a high-end guy or a role player that you trade. I don't know if Dallas has the luxury right now. It's a great question. It truly is. But if a team like the Cowboys They don't want to compete in waivers. They don't want to compete in free agency after the guy gets cut or something like that, and they just want to outright get him. It'll likely be a player for player. I don't see them trading any real trade compensation for a likely to be cut 59th best player on somebody's team. Who knows? 7th round pick in 2030, maybe. So I don't know. Maybe Israel Abanikanda, right? If they don't believe he's going to make the roster, they try to trade one. Malik Davis. I'm trying to think of some positions where guys that have been in the league, or in Malik's case, has some good tape. That cornerback room, I don't think it's enough depth guys with good tape. I don't think. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Jonathan Mingo, maybe. Or comp said Maris or Easy. Wait, maybe tackle a pick in the pass rusher. Maris, I think that's a decent one. Easy. If you're trading Easy, you're trading Easy for a dude over in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? You're trading him over there in Vegas. OMG, it's BJ. Shouts out to BJ. You ever did a stream talking about your stream setup? Could you, or that's a June, July offseason thing? It is more of an offseason thing, but I feel terrible because I've always wanted to create kind of like I don't know what to call it, some type of like class or YouTube Academy thing. Because let me tell you something real quick. My bad, about to go on a tangent. Has nothing to do with football. When I first got into this thing, there was no blueprint showing me how to do this from a sports perspective. I had to do YouTube Academy and University from a bunch of different other niches and use my brain to figure out how to make it work for sports. And as I was doing that, it took me like 1 year, and I was like, I think I got a handle of it. I just got to keep working at my craft and figure it out. But what I would love to do sometime is create a class or an academy for people trying to come into the YouTube sports realm as streamers or videos or whatever, because we don't have that. You can go look it now. It's a million people doing this, but there's really no one showing you how to do it. But if you go, hey man, go search how to be a gamer. A million people will show, hey man, how do I just generally stream? So many people show you how to generally stream, but you can't necessarily take somebody that's a gamer streamer and do it here for sports. Not in my opinion, if you want to separate yourself. So apologies for going off subject here, but I still do want to do that. It's real tough because I've added some different things to my plate, but at some point I definitely want to create some type of class or academy to where people, and not just because, sign up money or whatever, because obviously time is money, but I want it to be accessible for everybody, because so many people have, since I started in 2020, which I think that was kind of like the poker boom. That was the streamer boom because of COVID. It is flipped upside down on its head, man. There might have been like 8 guys doing Cowboys content on YouTube. There's 800 now, right? And there's more doing it in sports in general. So I don't care if you're a Cowboy fan or not. I'd love to kind of do that for just sports, period. Would love to do it. I just got to find a way and how. Because I dang sure ain't no gatekeeper. People be hitting me up in DMs and stuff, asking me, hey man, what do you use? And I try to give them it's really hard to really explain it all. But here's the basic rundown, beginner starter camera or streaming service or microphone and stuff. This all ain't happened in one night, by the way. This has happened over 6 years. So we'll love to do it though. All right, practice over. YouTube is almost said drawing. Try not to use the drawing and Jones too much, but YouTube drawing. Or not YouTube, Twitter. Okay, we back. Finally, Twitter got its act right. Gee, huh? We ain't missed nothing, though. Dustin Hoffman's in attendance. I don't care. Funny thing is, though, Dustin Hoffman making an appearance at practice. Rain Man. All right, y'all gotta see this. Shouts out to Nick Harris. Rain Man meeting Rain Man. Rain Dakota President. I love the Rain Man part, though, because if y'all watch me over on the collective. I've often called Christian Parker Rain Man, which is why I want him in the booth. I think he got Rain Man type ability. I do. All right. I'm gonna refresh one more time in case I miss anybody's super. I don't want to do that. And then we're gonna get up out of here in a second, man. So before y'all do, please, yeah, Meet the Falkers is really what I think about when Dustin Hoffman. Do me a favor. It's easy. Hit that like button. I think it's 600 of y'all left. Just real quick, pow, hit that like button. It helps get this thing out there for non-subscribers who may be looking for more Cowboys content and what I like to consider the home of quality Cowboys content, right? That's what I really try to strive myself to do. So no more supers. Appreciate everyone that did drop one. Somebody did earlier. Shouts out to Donald Dotson. He dropped 2 and said, "What's up, Sky? I'm feeling the hype. Football is here." Yes, indeed. Football tonight. I think they got 5-6 games, preseason games. And the Cowboys. Saturday. I'm still thinking about streaming. We'll see. I might do a watch party for the first half. I don't know yet. My son is like he's so into football now that I kind of want to be a part of the game with him, even though it's preseason. He's kind of at that age where it's kicking in. I mean, this boy, I'm so impressed with his knowledge of the game on his own. So it's pretty cool. So I don't know. I might just sit there and watch it with him. But we'll see. We'll see. With that said, y'all know what the homie tell me to do.
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.
I'm always open for business, man. Hit me up, man. My son is 9, just turned 9. And he is like, boy, he just out of nowhere last year, his light switch flipped for his love of the NFL. I love it though, bro. All right. Love y'all. We out here. Peace. Oh, wait, before I go, I gotta pay the bills. Gotta pay the bills for the skills for the bills. Shouts out to Prize Picks, man. Play $5, get $150 if you win for new users. That's right, $5, you get $150 if you win. Use the promo code HMA. It's pretty easy. Download the app. You can go over there right now. Do future picks. The season's almost here, but they still got the future picks up. Here's my lineup. The best one I got right here for me is George Pickens. Take the more for the 7 tutties. The rest, you can decide what you want to do. But shouts out to Prize Pick. Use promo code HMA. Now, we out here. Hey, got to pay the bill, man. Got to pay the bill. And Ride Trap, they definitely giving us some Kool-Aid, man.